Cody, you want to hear something funny?
Tell me.
So, you and I were kind of scrambling a little bit, and here's what happened. I popped on the video. I think Matt's frozen. Is Matt frozen? There he is.
No, he's moving around.
And then I hopped off the video, and Matt didn't realize I can still hear him talking.
My wife was in here.
Yeah,
what did I say?
Saying this is nerve-wracking. This is nerve-wracking. I was
like, I'd rather do this live. I didn't, like I was telling Cody, I didn't even watch this video because I wanted to do it with you guys to get feedback immediately, so I couldn't like know what was coming and like, oh yeah, that kind of thing. So I was telling Cody the story where I also coach with Faith RX, and we do some classes at this gym, CrossFit St. Pete. And I was like, went to the owner and I was like, hey, do you mind if I coach a class? Because I want to prep for this L4 test. And he's like, sure. So this is where this is at. It's not even at my gym. So we set up everything. I went to the 4:30 class on a Thursday and had name tags and everything made. So it was kind of like putting myself in that situation like it was going to be the test, so to speak. So here we go.
Let's do it. So
I'm here for it.
Cody, let's get weird. Ask your questions, and then let's watch some CrossFit.
Yep. Yeah. Matt.
Yes.
What's your current credential?
L3.
How long have you had it?
Well, I've had it for a year and a half, but I also passed it back in 2016. I had it for 3 years, and I forgot to do all my proper sending all my information in, which I had all of it done and expired. So I take the test again. So
you're one of the two people I know now. You're the second person I know that's done that. Adam Fuller.
Yeah, you know who else did it?
Who?
Chris.
Russell? That does not surprise me. That does not surprise me at all. Chris Russell, OG on
OG,
seminars.
Yeah. OG.
Great human being. Retired. I say Navy. I think he's Navy.
Was he Navy? He's a police officer too, no?
Yeah, Jacksonville Police Department. Yep. He's basically riding a bike in a t-shirt and shorts, arresting people.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, OG. I worked many seminars with him when I was in Florida. That's funny. So there's 3 people that have done that.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you preparing for your L4, Matt?
Yes, this is what this was kind of about. I actually had Chris. Chris came down to Tampa in probably November to do a seminar, and I reached out to him to follow one of his classes in Jacksonville. He's like, dude, I don't coach anymore. And, but hey, I'm going to be in Tampa next week. I'll pop in. So he came in and did a kind of watched the class and kind of gave me some feedback and all that kind of stuff. So this was kind of the next progression where he said, hey, you need to follow these guys, which was you guys.
He recommended us.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
I know. Surprised. I think because it was Fern, not because of you.
It could be. That makes more sense.
But anyway, so that's how I got onto you guys and kind of the whole process and kind of like, hey, well, other people are putting their videos out there. Let me just, if I'm going to prep for the L4, this is probably one way of really getting exposed to it and see how everything kind of what things I need to work on and tighten up and things like that. So,
but you haven't signed up for it yet?
No, I think I got the information. I haven't officially signed up, so I don't have a date where I'm doing it.
Okay, cool. Well, I got 2 questions. One, the people in the chat want to know: where'd it go?
Yeah, are you the same Matt that's in Sevon's chats?
Yeah. Is that Trish and Corey and
the Whack Pack?
The Whack Pack. Gonna set them off.
I know. That's why I'm hiding this chat over here. I don't want to see.
So you're one of them. You're one of these crazies.
I participate in there in the morning time and sometime in the evening. But guilty. It's a guilty pleasure.
Judy's saying you're not Matt Burns.
I am Matt Burns.
No, there's a Matt Burns because we've had convos. I went to high school with a Matt Burns, but it's not the same. I don't know what he's saying.
No, I think Judy is, yes, but we've talked about this, but I am, yeah.
Well, do you know who Trish is? That's the big
no, nobody knows who Trish is.
Trish is coming.
I didn't realize this. Is this a thing? Like Trish,
yeah, I tried to tell you that on the first episode when Trish popped in because you kept saying she and I was like, we don't know that.
We don't know. So
no when Trish
knows who Trish is.
No. When Trish first popped in Savant's in the window in the chat, everybody's like, "Is that Angela Merkel or something like that?" The picture, and then it's we're not.
I thought that was her. Like, meanwhile, that's maybe why I've been catfished so many times. So I just thought Trish was an older woman.
Very could well be. That actually could be her profile, and everything's spot on. I wouldn't bet your money on it.
Or it could be a man.
Yesterday, whenever you were asking, or Fern was asking about what box Trish dropped into, the chat was like, whoa. You can't be asking too many deep questions about Trish here, all right?
Is it one of those things where they all know who Trish is and they're keeping it quiet, or no one knows?
As far as I know, nobody knows who Trish is.
Wow, that's impressive on the internet. Cody,
yeah,
I want you to hop off this show, spend the next 72 hours of your life. You can do it.
You thought the level 4 club was exclusive. The people, the club who knows who Trish is really exclusive.
Yeah.
Impressive. Am I getting an echo, by the way, Cody?
No, you're good.
There we go. I got mocked for my earmuffs yesterday. I took my AirPod. Are those the Maxes or the Pros? I don't remember.
The Maxes.
You had your earmuffs on.
I snapped them in half, threw them in the garbage. I could only deal with so much of Corey making fun of me, so I had to get rid of them. They do not know. All right. And then my follow-up question, Matt, was since Chris did watch one of your classes, what was his feedback to you? So what's something you're working on?
I think one of the things is when I went over on the timeline. So trying to be more condensed and on task for each one, whether it's not so much the whiteboard, but kind of stuck in the middle of maybe more of a specific warm-up leading into over. We had a lot of 2 things programmed that day, so it kind of carried on a little too far. I didn't get a chance to get to the cool down in that class. So kind of blew the timeline that way, which I know is going to be very important. So, yeah.
Okay. And then what programming are you following?
Our affiliate follows Mayhem, but CrossFit St. Pete, the workout we did is CompTrain.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Lean pockets. Yeah, me too. Hey, I saw somebody put that in the comments. So lean pockets, remember those like little pizza bites? It's like they're either like burn your face off or ice cold. There's like no like
for sure.
I found the right
blisters on your tongue.
Yeah, it's like I can't taste anything ever again because I burned my face. But the hop because now I see it in Madison when she's eating food. When you're like trying to breathe.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's funny. You'll get used to this, kid. Burn your tongue. All right, let's see. So we got to present, right, Cody?
Yep. I've got the lesson plan over here. You've got the video.
Hold that lesson plan. Take a look at it for me. Tell me what you think.
So what we got here. So we got a strength portion first.
Is this the first episode we're gonna watch with a strength and Metcon?
Maybe. I don't remember there being another one.
I think it might be.
Huh. Strength and Metcon. As prevalent as they are, I can't believe we haven't had one.
Right? I think everybody's the only way to do CrossFit nowadays, isn't it?
Well, I will say, like, preparing for your level 4, you're only going to have one workout, so it's cool. But know that when you coach, it's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
Are you saying that for certain?
No, yes, I did speak out of
caveat.
I would, and this one was, it's deadlifts into deadlifts and bikes, so there's not a lot of like multiple different movements where you can't really coach one thoroughly. So I played this scenario in this over in my head in the class. Did I do enough drills and skills for the deadlift? To be sufficient? Did I, all that kind of stuff? So
I don't want to speak out of turn here, but there's a big cap announcement coming.
Okay.
They mentioned it at the summit. I'm being told they've mentioned it on some regional roundtables, but if you're an affiliate owner, you're going to want to pay attention to the cap news coming your way. Right, Cody? Do you know about this?
I think so. I think me and Fern were talking about it on the hot seat.
Yeah. Oh, you mentioned it? Did you mention it?
I think Fern did, yeah. I think he said it was already somewhat public news.
I don't know. Should we say it? Oh, Philip, you blew it. You ruined the big surprise. Yeah, cap is going to be free from what they're saying.
Really?
Oh, there we go.
I think that's a great idea for a lot of affiliates.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think, look, just so people watching, we have small group calls for Affiliate U. We have 4 3 times a week, and I do the Thursday ones before this. And programming comes up quite a bit. And here's the thing: I had a huge rant today, and I will tell you this: most of your members that complain about programming are complaining for the sake of complaining, because at the end of the day, there's one main objective when it comes to programming. I'm not going to even ask you guys. I don't expect you to know the right answer, but it is fitness. It is work capacity across broad time and modal domains, right? So at the end of the day, what programming you're following is insignificant unless we're getting the results we want. Increase work capacity across broad time and modal domains. If you approach your members and they're like, I love Mayhem, I love CompTrain, I love this or that, they're rarely telling you they love it because of the results they're getting. They love the way they feel. They love, the different movements. They love the actual workouts. Now, there's value there. Your people need to be having fun. But at the end of the day, don't forget the main objective. And on top of that, when we see some of these over-programmed things, I can tell you what gets diminished, and that is the coaching. Yep. That is the coaching, and that's what your people are paying for. If they want to do Mayhem,
I think that's. I'm glad to hear Cap is coming to free. I owned an affiliate for 5 years. Oh, sorry, you broke up on there.
You broke up, but that's fine. Trish is here. All good. Yeah. Did he froze, right, Cody?
It wasn't on my end, no.
Let's be clear. Trish showed up. Matt froze.
Oh,
are they the same person?
Is
your wife Trish? Is your wife Trish?
No, it's not.
Yeah, so he's frozen again, as he said it.
Now Cody's frozen. Now Jay's frozen. You guys both froze on me.
And here's something I wrote down. I want to throw this out there because I wrote it down. I said it, so it's kind of prophetic.
Oh, jeez.
I said, let me write it down. I wrote it down. Hold on, let me read it. I said, anything at the affiliate goes as well as the confidence of the owner. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to change something, it will be approved is not the right word, but it will be, accepted as confident as you are. If you're like, hey, we're going to Cap because it's a badass program and we're going to coach our faces off and you guys are going to love it, they're going to be like, sweet, let's do this. Mm-hmm. Or if you're like, yeah, we're kind of thinking about Cap and we don't know, they're going to be like, well, we don't know then. So is Trisha's husband Ron? Is that true?
That is true.
It's made up.
Hey, Matt, real quick, what do you say to the people that say Matt's sexy?
Thanks, Philip.
You know this guy?
I know him from the podcast.
Has anyone seen Trish and Matt in the same room?
Thanks, Corey. Appreciate that.
Is this? Are you do have a little a big fan? Not John Travolta. Do you get accused of being John Travolta quite a bit?
Me?
Yeah.
No, that's the first time ever.
I'll pull up a photo.
No.
You said that.
You add some earrings, man.
Is this guy's real name Jethro? Is that a thing?
Hey, Jethro.
Yep. I don't trust anyone anymore. I don't know if anybody is anybody.
Look, when the Prince of Nigeria asks to borrow money from you, Cody, you send him money.
Now, I don't know. What was the one young lady that pops in there?
Mapuzi?
Yeah. That one might be.
She's real.
She's real?
She's real. Yeah. Her and I have been DMing back and forth. She's definitely
okay.
real.
Send her some money.
All right, let's kick it off.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Right, let's do it.
Meanwhile, I know Roz is outside this door. She's like, I thought you work.
Doing that. So we're going to submit that to them.
That mic works really well.
What happened to the sound?
You got me?
Oh, there we go.
I took it up. I think I was getting my mic ready. So the first few minutes, getting everybody set up. To the left is where the whiteboard. There we go.
This is not your box.
All right.
This is not my box. If you notice, I got name tags on everybody.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you guys giving me a little bit of time this hour to teach the class and kind of practice and give me a little feedback. Whether it's at the end of class, you guys want to say, hey, you guys did a great job, or you suck, coach. Right? So anyway, let's go over. Come on over here to the board. We're going to talk about what we're going to do today. It's going to be the same workout as you guys did. I'm not changing anything. We're just going to be going through it. I'm going to be teaching the class. That's it. Okay, so.
One of these again. I swear I downloaded it, Cody.
Is that my
fault? Look, the chat will keep us going here. No, it's Jay.
No, I downloaded it. I don't know. Look, it's right.
So to the left where you can't see me is their small TV screen where their whiteboard is.
Right.
They don't have a handwritten whiteboard there. So
is this your first time being in this box?
no, I coach there. We meet there like once every 6 weeks. So little familiar with it, but this is the first time ever teaching their athletes.
Cool. I don't know how you move. What we're going to do is I'm going to kind of go through warm up, a general warm up, and then we'll get to the barbell, go through specific warm up and rock and roll. Okay. So how the rep scheme is going to work is going to go 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. Okay. So we're going to build to a heavy single. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to warm up, and then we're going to kind of build up to maybe about 80% or 85% of your 1 rep max, and start that first set of 3. Okay. If you got 1 rep max, fine. Think of RPE, rate of perceived exertion.
Skip over my demo.
That's going to be the first set of 3. Okay, we'll add a little weight, try to add weight each set. Rest about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, right? We need to rest in order to capture enough of that output of that strength into that deadlift to build to a heavy single for today. Okay? And then our Metcon is going to be 3 rounds for time of 30 cals on these. You guys have an echo bike. 30 cal echo bike for the guys. There's no ladies, so hey, 30 cals. Let's rock and roll. Right? And then 21.15.9 of deadlifts at 225 if we're doing RX. If not, we'll scale it down to 155 and maybe 95 if we're newer doing fit, right? After we do a warm-up, we go through some of this stuff. We'll go through the stimulus and what we're trying to do, time frames, goals, right? And that may also help us how to modify this workout accordingly. Cool? All right. So let's do
You said 3 rounds, but is it 1 round, 30 calories, and then 21, 15, 9? Or is it?
No, it's 30, 21, 30, 15, 30, 9.
Gotcha. So it's a big time.
Skip over my demo?
I might have when I rebooted it.
Okay, because I know I asked them if anybody had any injuries or ailments.
All right.
Cool.
Let's rock and roll. Aaron, can we get a little music?
So we have a late incomer.
What we're going to do, I'm going to start a clock.
So we do have a lady.
Yep.
We're then going to do 3 inchworms with a push-up. Okay, guys? So we'll start with my feet underneath my hips, walk my hands out, push-up plank, push up to the floor, and then walk my hands back. 3 of those. 4. Then we're going to do a 20-second push-up plank hold. All right, so we're going to push up plank, my wrist underneath my shoulders, squeeze my butt, my belly's tight. Hold that for 20 seconds. Then we'll grab our dumbbell. We're going to do 8 total walking lunges. Stride out, kiss the knee to the floor, keep your torso vertical. We'll do 4 on each side. Well, does anybody have any questions? Andrew, any questions? Where's your name tag? Oh my goodness.
Good job with the demos.
Alex, Blaine, you guys ready? I don't know how to start this thing, Aaron.
I would have done that while they were still gathered. I think it got a little chaotic in there. And I think you probably got, look, most people know those, what you do, inchworms, a plank, and a lunge.
Yeah. Okay, so back when you guys are all gathered by the
I would have been like, hey guys, yeah, like when we talk at the level 2, we demo the movements, talk next steps. And next steps would be like, all right, guys, we're going to go into the general warm-up. Here are the 3 things you need to know what to do.
Gotcha.
Because I think you wound up rushing them because you realized they were kind of not paying attention.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
The other thing too, and I'm curious to see if you do it some more in the rest of this classes, like for the inchworm into the push-up, you said we're gonna get into this position, this is stacked over this, and this is tight. That's you brain dumping, and it's not necessary information, right? You're just saying more words for the sake of filling the air.
Gotcha. Right.
And coaches do it all the time, right? Because we want to give the information, but it's not like just applicable right now.
Yep.
Walk out to a push-up plank. Here we go. Push up to the floor. Walk your hands back to your feet. Try to keep your legs as straight as possible. Feel the back of your legs warming up. Loosening up. Loosen those hamstrings a little bit.
I don't hear any music, Jay, so you can probably turn it up a little bit without us.
Yeah, I was worried because
Finish that third one. Hang on that push-up plank.
he's got a good mic. That's why
So Cody told me buy a good mic. I bought a good mic.
Squeeze your butt.
Cody gets yelled at if you don't have a good mic. That's why.
Speaking of Mike, where is Mike? Where's Mike in the chat?
Where's Mike?
Where's Mike?
Pick up our
Backpack. Go recruit. Send out the bat signal. We need Mike.
I'm gonna go get Mike Caputo. Whack Pack Unite. I'm also turning it down because he's so loud. In a good way. In a good way. Like, I love
Okay,
how
all right,
loud
that's
you are.
good.
You're extremely loud. Even look how low my volume is, and I'm like, maybe I need to turn my volume down. Here we go.
And Matt, I was gonna say what's on the other side over here, but there it
that's
is.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to make sure that you guys kind of saw us gathered up. I wanted to see so you guys could see that I did do the demo of the deadlift.
Oh, they have a ton of Echo bikes.
And then I was like, yeah, they do. They 8, 9 of them.
I always like gyms that have the mezzanine because if you were finishing class or something, you wanted to go chill, you could just sit up there and watch the next class. I think it's
Right up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like this is a great spot to put like.
Our affiliate now, the owner put in a smoothie bar.
Yeah, I was gonna say or a recovery area like some Normatec boots, maybe an infrared, maybe a cold plunge. You know.
They actually in that behind the window underneath the other clock over there is a recovery room.
Yeah, this is sweet.
They got some Normatecs in there.
Lovely box. Yeah, well, in the chat, guys, here's the thing. We're different than Savon's podcast and wherever else you guys go, because we do have some normal people that watch also, right? Mike is one of those normal people. You know, we're kind of like it's like when worlds collide on Seinfeld. We get those people and we get some other people. And
one thing I just noticed that probably I would want to have done if it was the L4. You'll see they get their barbells and we set them up organized, but I probably, or what do you think? Put the bars out for them?
no, don't put the bars out for them.
Okay.
That's
all right. Well, then I'm okay then. All right.
No. You know, here's the thing. You have to treat your level 4 assessment like you would a normal class. Right?
Okay.
And if you're showing up every class and pulling out barbells, that's not a good look. Not a good look, but it's just like not sustainable. So I think it's important you know they get their own stuff. What is important is you tell them where you want them to be. Put your barbells here, do this, do that, which we usually kind of take a look at as the class goes along, what that group management piece looks like. What's up, Brandon? Get your own shit. Yeah. Look at this guy.
Normally I make them get their own stuff. I just didn't want to make sure that,
So this is here's something we've been given as feedback to many of these progressions. Mm-hmm. Coaching has to start here.
Yep.
Right. So if you're worrying about where this, we need, if people are moving, coaching is happening. And I think for a lot of coaches, it's like, okay, they're kind of in the middle of the warm up. I'm moving on. I'm looking at this. It's like, if someone's lunging, I should be watching them.
Yes, sir.
How tall are you, Matt?
5'9".
Oh.
And in a class like this, like where the rig is in the center, and so you can't maybe have people move in lines. It looked like people were doing walking lunges. I would have probably just had them do stationary lunges so that you can actually see people.
Okay.
Just all at once. Cody. Instead of just it's a little bit chaotic when people are just kind of worming around in between people.
Do these people know each other in person?
Yeah, this is the regular 4:30 class.
No, not this class. Because if so, are you guys going to be at the games? Are you guys going to get together? We'll be at the games. This is why, though, I don't love a freestanding rig. Let me go back. I love a freestanding rig, just not in the middle of the box. I think this rig, 2 feet from the wall, opens up so much more floor space. We don't have to have multiple rows, which makes it more challenging to coach, right? I'm not suggesting they go and rip the rig up, but I'm suggesting affiliates consider that. I like both sides. There's your boy. I like both sides, but I want it closer to the wall so we have way more floor space.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
I think yesterday in the chat, Michael said that we are now on a Mike basis now. He and I. You still have to call him Michael. I get to call him Mike. He's my magic Mike.
I call him MC. Okay, let's watch this.
Pushing my knees back slightly, my shoulders and hips rise at the same time to count of 3, and and then pushing my butt back, keeping the knees back and down. Okay? Here we go. Start mid-shin. We're going to do 3 of these on my call. Mid-shin. Scoot your feet a little bit, Andrew. Just a tap. There you go. Let's pull those shoulders back. Lock and load. Yeah, shoulders a little bit on top of that one more. There you go. Good. And up. Good. I pause at the top now on the way back down. Here we go. 3 seconds on the way down. 3, 2, 1. Andrew, pull that bar back into your body more. Right, guys, don't let that bar drift away. Actively pull the bar back to your body. Here we go. Up again. And deadlift. Up. 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's try Blaine. And down. Send your hips back. Pull it back in. Good, Matt. Let's try to get your shoulders more on top of that bar. So there you go. Right? Your back's looking better now. All right, here we go. Set up and up. Good, Matt. Keep pulling that. Andrew, excuse me. Keep pulling that bar back in, right? So this when you stand here, it's going to want to drift away. Keep pulling back. Okay? All right, here we go. Back down.
Well, for one, you're coaching the hell out of the class. Your energy is through the roof. You're doing a good job. I've not seen any empty reps. If anything, I've seen multiple cues per rep. I will say one thing to consider. This guy, you cued about pulling the bar back.
Yep.
And then you had to go back and do it again. But you gave him the same exact cue.
Okay.
Right? So, okay, if the bar is drifting away, I can think of another verbal cue, or maybe I pull a little bit on the bar and say, hey, pull that bar back in. Right?
Okay.
So now we go tactile.
More tactile.
Just something different. And, to be clear, if a verbal cue doesn't work, you don't have to jump to visual or tactile. It can just be a very different verbal cue.
Sure.
What's wrong is the same cue that's not working, right? The best cue is the one that works.
Yes,
The
sir.
bad cue is one that doesn't work.
Hey, Philip, to answer your question, this is actually not his affiliate. He's at a friend's affiliate coaching a class he's never coached before, a group of people we've never coached. So that's why they have name tags. But
Yeah.
Matt,
And
your
let's call
affiliate is
this-
CrossFit Uproar?
Correct.
I want to
CrossFit
pull
Uproar.
this up. This Philip, as crazy as the Whack Pack and all you guys watching are,
Thanks,
I
Philip.
love that you guys do respect and recognize people that are simply trying to be better coaches. So yeah, shout out to Matt. Shout out to everybody that's been on the progression in the past.
So at this point, we did some reps. Now we're going to put a little bit of light weight on there to get a little bit more reps in there without adding too much load. So to continue to get more practice at them.
Yeah, and Brandon, I agree with you. The use of names is through the roof. And you know what? I would like that. You guys watching, I love the fun comments. Don't get me wrong. Be completely inappropriate in the chat. But also, let us hear your feedback, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I am the expert on the show. I fully accept that, with great what is it? With
you can't even say it.
Comes great responsibility. That's Spider-Man. Is that what you're saying? But you know what? I love hearing from you guys. I want to see what you think Matt's doing well, but also where you think he can be doing better.
Absolutely. That's why we're
You guys
doing
have
it.
watched
Right?
Ted Lasso this week? Compliment Sandwich was on. Did you watch it, Cody?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I got to catch
They
up.
do a little compliment sandwich. Keely gets taught how to do a compliment sandwich. Humbleness. Heavy lies the crown. There we go. No, great. Something.
Lifetime Dan.
Great power. With great power comes great responsibility.
In the middle of that, just a second ago, Matt, I did catch, because I typically look for it more than Jay does, but the grenade in the room, right?
Cody
Where
loves finding the grenades.
I love finding the grenades, right?
Okay.
And it was you cued the guy, hey, keep the bar pressed back against you, and then you immediately address the same thing to the entire room. Hey guys, make sure you keep that bar pressed back against you. It's like, all right, that was a grenade you're just launting out to everybody, whether or not it's only one person or if every single one of them was doing it. So it's one of those things to watch out for. As coaches, you just I want to throw this cue out to everybody, but that's, you wouldn't do the same thing for a good cue. If you were like, hey, Matt, good elbows. Hey, everybody, good elbows. We wouldn't do that. So
grenade in the room. I like that. Grenade in the room.
My biggest weakness, I care too much. By the way, speaking of Ted Lasso, can you guys see this?
back it up.
Is that you and Trish?
That doesn't mean Trish. That's Nikki Sharp passing her level 3 today.
Nice.
So shout out to Nikki Sharp right there. Level 3, newest level 3 on the planet. Way to go, Nikki Sharp. We are proud of you. Sent that to the crew. They were super excited to hear that. Let's see. Why is this dude wearing gloves?
I
Do
don't
people
know.
still do that?
I did for a hot minute. Rogue made those. They were like partnered with the brand Mechanics,
Pros.
and I think I went through like, I don't know, probably 10 pairs of Mechanics.
When I first started CrossFit, I don't remember if it was Glassman. He said it might have been somebody else. But he was like, "Hey, you can wear gloves. Just make sure they match your purse." There you go.
Oh, you gotta love the
Noted.
glasses.
Throw out your gloves.
You can't say
That's
that.
awesome.
You're gonna get canceled.
It could be a man purse. It could be a man purse. It's European. It's European.
This guy must have some really tight hips.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
He's tall.
outside perspective, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, did this just freeze again? I have to reboot it. Outside perspective, while we're rebooting this,
Yep.
it seems a little chaotic. Am I right
Okay.
about that, Cody?
Yeah, I mean, like you've got people still building up, doing reps. We've got other guys doing mobility and whatnot. Like this, if you're going to give some build up time, this may have been either a little bit more directed, or it's like, hey, we're going to do 3 reps on the minute for the next 5 minutes, so that
Yeah, I just think that's like
people together.
Mason Mitchell. I think that's a lost art where it's like, hey, we're building up to a heavy, but oh man, there you go. But we're gonna do it on my clock, or we're gonna go at the same time, or like,
Okay.
Because what's the rep scheme?
3, 2, 1, 1, 1, I believe.
Right, so that's 5 sets.
I think you said you wanted them to start at like 80%, right?
Yeah, so we were doing slowly building up, taking multiple sets. But I see your point of me leading the warm up sets. Hey, we're gonna do all together. We're gonna do 3 here, or we're gonna do 3 maybe every 2 minutes or something to warm up.
Yeah,
That's the owner.
Shout out.
That's the owner.
Yeah, I think just it's just going to seem a little less, and then especially like if you're looking at it broad, like zoom out, right? This isn't your level 4 assessment. This is just my box on a random Thursday. It's like, okay, now I got new people and they're like, this is crazy, right? Where if a new person's there and they're like, oh, okay, I get it. Every 3 minutes we all do this thing. Like this prevents we all have the members that are like, oh, I'm done. Like I haven't even finished my warm-up sets yet. Like you're done, right? And we also have the people that are like, this dude, he's got 115 on the bar.
I know.
Right?
He's one of the coaches there. That's why. When you have a coach that's in a class, it's like, hey, I got to do my extra warm-up and things like that.
I think
he's a good dude.
Let me get to Dan's question in a second. I think there's a point in time in CrossFit where you learn too much and you understand too much that you start overthinking it. I was seeing this on staff a couple of years ago. I noticed on staff, everyone's scaling everything. And I'm like, dudes and girls, I'm like, you're overthinking this thing. Just go RX and stop being a baby, right? Like, look, don't blow the stimulus, like hit the stimulus, but it's like, if we're at a point where we're considering now, how do we scale Fran when we've been doing this thing for 10 years, we're thinking too much. Like at some point it's like, shut up and just go, shut up and work. Wow. He'll be 46. I'm 45 this year. Where's Dan's question? Let me pull it. I'm going to pull it up, Cody. When the workout calls for a percentage, what's y'all's quick go-to for newer folk who don't have percentages set yet? RPE, able to do X reps, etc. Great question, Lifetime Dan. I'll chime in and then I'll let Cody chime in. So I think oftentimes if they don't know percentages, they also don't really understand RPE, right? So I think as an experienced coach, I don't need to see much. I can literally find a stranger on the street, watch 2 to 3 sets of their deadlift, and I can probably put it within 10 pounds of their best set. Like that's just experience. Secondly, I think there'd be nothing wrong with always air lighter, but there'd be nothing wrong with like, hey, we're just, if it's a percentage, let's just work up to something that's a little heavy for you today, right? You can tweak the workout. It doesn't have to be 5, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1 or something like that for them. Assess, quick assessment, how long they've been here. They've been coming for 2 weeks. They've deadlifted, they haven't deadlifted, you are certainly a good enough coach, Dan. Dan's at Lifetime, but they do a very similar, they do alpha conditioning, which is very similar to CrossFit. I know Dan is fully capable of looking at someone and giving them a prescription. That's where Dan, I'd be like, hey, Trish, it's your first time deadlifting today. Here are the weights I want you to go to. Cool. If it feels like it was too easy, that's perfect. What do you got, Cody? Anything to add there?
No, mine was I wouldn't have the newer athlete go to a heavy single. I would have the newer athlete just probably stick with 3s across, and that way we can get if they are new, we can get a good baseline on what they're able to hang on to and what happens as they move across more reps than just 3, 2, 1.
I've really been paying attention to the moments that cause me to lose focus or control of the class. And lifting days, yeah. And going back to what we said, Mike, I think a lot of that could be remedied simply by like, hey guys, here's the rep scheme. We're going every 3 minutes. I'm going to remind you, all that good stuff. Like, be in control of it, Mike.
Yeah, I see your point now. Just looking at it from a distance of just the organization and how the flow of having that built, the more structured warm up, as in the building up reps.
And you can look too, like if we're watching this, outside like this, we can look at how many reps the entire class has done, and then how many cues you're able to give, per rep, basically. In the beginning, you were coaching the hell out of them. Right now, you're walking around a little bit. We got people doing deadlifts on the left and on the right. You got your back to a lot of people. It's an opportunity for you to give more cues and coach more if it's more coach led.
Okay.
Trish. The other thing I like to do is I like to I pick one person in the class and be like, yo, you and Blue, right? Bill Grundler's kid. What's your 1 rep max? Cool. And then I'll write out like what I would probably do, including warm-up sets. Right. Okay. I might do that for male, female, because now it's like, cool. Whether or not that's your exact number or not, you have a good understanding of about where you should be. Right. So
you know, weight wise.
Yeah. So sometimes, like, let's use another example. All right, guys, we're working up to a 1 rep back squat today. And I might be like, hey, my goal today is 405. Here's what I would do. I would work up to a weight that I can do, blind and drunk, and that's 365. And then I would go for a challenging weight beyond that, call it 385. And then if I hit that, I'm going for it. Right now, before I get to that 365, I'm going to, get to 315 for 1. I'm going to do a triple at 2 set. Like, I'm writing all this down. I'm like, so think about where you are, try to match my sets as far as reps go, and adjust the weights, right? Because you get some people that are like going up by like 2.5 every set. I'm like, you're never going to get there, right? And then you get some people like 45, 45, 45, right? So you have to really help them. Blind and drunk, yeah, I've done that. We did Fran really drunk one time, Dan, back in the day.
Oh, God, what is wrong with you?
My.
J builds too challenging. Corey, I know I back squat more. I've never met Corey. There's very little I'm more confident at in life than knowing I back squat more than him. How much time did you give them for this strength piece? Good question. CS,
15 minutes.
We have 15 minutes.
That's why. Oh, look at this dude. Double overhand with gloves?
Yeah, buddy. I think he PR'd that day, too. Was it he that PR'd or the guy in purple PR'd?
What is this guy doing?
The sign-in is right there.
Does he not even realize there's a camera?
That's the guy that's on the side, on the other side of the rig that I was talking about pulling the bar back in. I think it's Andrew.
Yeah, I remember.
Yep.
I don't want to be. All right. I don't want to be a mean person, but I'm about to be when this guy moves. I know he's one of the coaches. He spent like 30 minutes mobilizing and he just pulled 245. Like, come on, dude. Like, I hate to be mean. But if you're going to mobilize for 20 minutes,
well,
we got at least
now,
445.
I know you guys missed in the beginning when I was asking for injuries and ailments, but he did mention he's got something going on with his back and it's tight and you got to be careful when he slowly builds up. And so that's kind of where the extra mobility, I was like, all right, I understand. So,
all right. We're all hurt, dude.
Yep.
I don't know. As I get older doing CrossFit, I'm just like my tolerance for whining because it's a sharp decline. It's like, yeah.
I hear you.
I agreed. Trish, drop. Where's the deadlift start and finish? Good question.
Yeah.
But she had another one earlier. Said that the deadlift should be a workout on its own. And yeah, you should have your heavy days, but we said it on the one of the other podcasts the other day that doing a strength plus metcon and sometimes doing things back to back, like that's what variance is. You've got to have some of these days in there like this. Like, was this meant to be a PR day? Maybe not. But it's definitely going to get you warm and ready for doing 21, 15, 9 deadlifts in the next piece.
Yeah. No, fully agree. And if we never do strength and metcon, that's a deficiency in our stimulus as well, right? But yeah, time and a place to do both. Time and a place to just, hey, we're just doing a heavy deadlift today. I just saw, I think it was on .com or Facebook or something CrossFit related, where they were like, you should be pulling near 1 rep max deadlifts once a week.
Really?
Yeah, the manual says once a week near max, and then one other time a week at seemingly insignificant loads.
Well, and I can tell you, I don't think Joby's on here right now. Joby, if you're watching, Joby and Tanya at CrossFit Verillas, awesome affiliate U clients, they're following .com from like early 2019 when Glassman was programming, and they're doing like 5K rows and 1 rep max deads all the time. And he's like, people don't necessarily love it, but they're getting fitter. And that goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like, that's the goal, right? Sometimes the boring stuff is what gets you fitter. But
right. Well, nowadays, everybody thinks that you have to do, a metcon and a strength piece. It's like every class has to be that way. It's like trying to convince them it's not optimal for intensity or accomplish sometimes. If we're trying to build to a heavy single, or you guys there?
Yeah, you keep blaming us, Matt. It is definitely you. And 2009, Glassman may have been programming then too, but there was a brief period in I believe it was early 2019. Anyone that was at the 10-year affiliate gathering. So that was 19. Glassman took back over the programming. And there was like slips and 5Ks and 1 rep max deads and totals all the time.
Slips, dude. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Because I will, Dan, does that mean you want to come on it? No. I will tell you this. I'm doing 1 workout a day, almost only heavy days. Right? I squat on Monday, bench on Tuesdays right now.
There we go.
Been doing clean and jerks on Thursdays. I did those this morning.
I would actually say like the return of, zone 2 work is more popular now, right? You've got people who are spending 30, 40, 60 minutes on a C2 bike or a rower or something like that.
Yeah. And usually I realize what I'm about to say means I'm probably not varying enough, mostly just because we're so busy right now that I'm just happy to get it in. But yeah, I've been following Wendler. Monday squat, Tuesday bench. Thursdays I do this clean and jerk. I'm trying to do the Cali Bear at 225. So I've been kind of modulating some clean and jerks. Friday, like a zone 2 thing. Saturday I do my press. Yeah. I'm not even deadlifting because I'm like, all that other stuff is getting me strong.
I was going to say, strength bias there, huh?
Everyone works. It works, Trish.
It does work. It's boring as all get out, but it works.
It's boring, and man, that last set is freaking daunting. Like I have to get my mind right to go for that max. I hit 15 at 295 on Monday. Oh man, first of all, it's a heavy day, but there's some conditioning involved in there. That's like a 3-minute set. All right, Cody, take over for a sec while he's briefing the Metcon. I gotta pee.
Let's get that. He needs to work his Kegel muscles. He can't hold his bladder. All right, so we finish up the deadlift portion. Now you bring them back together to kind of talk about what the point of this workout's going to be.
Yeah, stimulus. What I want you to do, like, kind of keep time frames for the calories on the bike. So, hey, let's try to get this done in 1.5 to 2 minutes, no more than 2 minutes, to kind of keep this going so we can get under the cap and keep the intensity where we need it. Kind of giving them an idea, deadlifts wise, maybe 2 breaks in the first set, maybe 1 break in the second set, and the set of 9 maybe unbroken, or 1 break depending on their ability. Mostly because the cap's aggressive, so this way we're not blowing the cap.
That's good. Corey, what are you doing? Come on, man. Yeah, fixing to happen. All right. I'm in Alabama. That's how we say it. Get off me. Are we gonna have a test run on this?
Yeah, little primer.
Cool.
Oh man, let me catch up.
I like to do those. Gives them an idea of how it's going to feel when you come off the bike into the deadlift, so they know it's like, oh, I should go a little lighter.
So, Jay, question for you. The this workout. It wasn't until you just said something. For this workout where we've got 21, 15, 9 deadlifts, and I looked back at your lesson plan. 21. Ideally unbroken, maybe 2 sets. Is that a good test maybe early on that he can call the reps on to see, but also give them a taste of what it's like to hang onto the barbell for 21 reps?
Sorry, I turned him back on. What was the last thing you said?
Early on in the specific warm-up for the deadlift, is that a good test to have him see, multiple reps, but also to give them a taste of what it's like to hang on to a barbell for 21 reps?
Yeah, I mean, it's 225. I probably
wouldn't be there. We would be like probably way lighter than that, like 95 pounds.
No, well, I'm saying I think we would have gauged a lot of that during the strength piece.
Okay.
Right.
Like, that's what I would have been looking at. Like, this guy in the front here, to be clear, I think he worked up to 275. And now he's got 225 on the bar. That does not make sense.
No, 21 unbroken or even in 2 sets is not going to feel very good.
Right, and he probably can do it like Matt said. Maybe he's dealing with an injury. My guess would be, well, if you're that injured, this is probably not enough. Like, I definitely would have said something like, all right, if you don't work up past 315, we need to consider going lighter than 225.
Okay.
And I know
he does go unbroken on it too.
Yeah, no, I think he probably just didn't. No,
he didn't want to go heavy.
So let's get rid of the injury talk, right?
Yeah.
This is why we often don't do strength in Metcon. If we were doing 2 workouts a day, 2 are getting half-assed, right? Like, what was the point? Like, we built up to a moderate load in the deadlift, and now, so you can go unbroken here. Like,
yeah, no, I'm following you.
Did that guy just do 21 over here? Does he change the?
Nah, this is a primer.
Okay, we're prime. Okay.
5 cows, 3 deadlifts, 3 cows, 1 deadlift, I believe, if I can remember correctly.
Here we go. One deadlift.
But yeah, I would be watching with a Hawkeye, Cody, if that's what you're asking here. I think what you asked me is 1 enough.
No, what I was asking was we've got an intended stimulus of this weight should be something that when I get off that bike, I should be able to do 21 unbroken, max 2 sets, maybe 1 break. Earlier on in the specific warm-up, could we have used that at 95 or at 135 as a good test to say, how am I feeling today? Like, can I hold on to 225 for that many reps, but also at the same time giving him 21 repetitions to see and coach people without them putting the bar down?
Yeah. Huh. I think that might be too light.
So it would probably cover up some of the stuff that we would see here.
Yeah. I think going back to what I said, I think that heavy portion would have been where I'm like watching and being like, all right, in my mind, like going back to what I said, I'm like 225, 205, 185, scale up, 245, right? Like I'm watching. And I think many of the people in the chat, you guys, Cody and Matt included, I know I'm sounding like I'm the only one that can do this. You're all good at this. Like and this is where my contention with assessments is, right? It's like, if I'm watching you move, I know all I need to know. Like that's just decades of experience. I can see exactly how much you should be able to move.
And Matt, I know that we're being like incredibly specific on this workout alone, but
I want it.
You're getting ready for the level 4, and these are just the types of questions and planning and the thought you want to put into what it is you're going to have to do before you walk in. Like, how am I going to approach this to get the most out of this class?
Yep. No, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I know Chris said the same thing. He's like, I was explaining the workout and saying, hey, I want it done in this. And he's like, well, why do you want it like this? And I had to do a time. Okay. Hey, I've got, let's say it's 21 deadlifts. You should be able to do 21 deadlifts at whatever in, I don't know, 25, 30 seconds, whatever it was, to say, hey, this is where the 2-minute window comes from because of how long it would take to get these reps done or completed at this weight.
And I know these are your buddies, but I will say this is the biggest piece of feedback I would give you. It's the group management piece. Like, I feel like for as busy as this class was, there wasn't enough moving. So I think you had, point being, you had time despite, and in a sense, the programming is good because it's deadlifts into deadlifts.
Yep.
Right. So the strength portion almost serves as a specific warm up where it's like, I would have called out more reps, like Cody said, really dug into this deadlift. And then, I think going back to, I want to ask the whack pack and
call
the
out
viewers
more.
this.
I'm sorry, call out more reps during like the
Period.
specific warm up or everything?
General, specific, like more control of the class. And the way you do that is like, I'm calling out reps and I'm telling you when to lift and here's where we're at. And now we're doing this. But I asked the listeners, because a lot of times we're like, all right, no more than 1 break per set. Like, what's wrong with being like, go unbroken? Here's the stimulus. You pick up that bar and you don't put it down till you count to 21. Like, we've gotten soft in this where it's like, look, if we're truly trying to hit the stimulus, I promise you, you see this at the games, semis, or even quarterfinals. Everyone's going unbroken.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So why have we become so soft as coaches that it's like, hey, if you need to break this twice, maybe a third time, that's acceptable. No, it's not. 21, 15, 9, designed by Glassman, was a rep scheme intended to be unbroken. 21 sucks, but you're fresh. 15, we're 6 less, pick it up and go again. 9, you see the end in sight. And I think as coaches, in order to get our members to hit that stimulus, we need to be that. Now, someone may break on the 15s. That's bound to happen. But I want you to break on the 15s because you sold your soul on the 21s, and now you're just trying to hang on for dear life. And I think we need to see way more of that. Way more of that.
That's fair. Intensity.
What do we got going on in the back over there? Is that somebody just doing extra stuff?
No, he's one of the Masters athletes that was getting ready to do, or he was doing the group qualifier.
Gotcha. All right.
That's the lunge workout. Yeah. That's one of the guys from the front.
All right, Kyle. How we doing, baby? Keep it going. Keep it going.
So I don't want to catch the music.
I don't think it's that sensitive.
3 rounds for time, 30, 21, 30, 15, 39. So this becomes primarily a bike workout.
Yep.
Yeah, that bike is going to take, when you get tired, 3 minutes.
Yeah, when you're fresh, 3 minutes.
Better not.
And Corey, I like that, right? Like, point being, I just think sometimes we coddle our people, and I don't mean that like I'm the world's hardest guy. I mean, like, in a sense where if we tell people it's okay to break twice, guess what they're going to do? Break twice. Where if we're like, hey, hang on for 21 unbroken. Now we've said it. Pick a weight that allows you to do 21 unbroken. Period. And I hope that's hard enough that somewhere in the 15s, think about it. Like, Fran, it's like a really important day in your life. It's like your bar mitzvah. When you go through those 15s, like, I did it. I went unbroken on the 15s. Like, we should get that feeling more often. We should be having that all the time.
I didn't have a bar mitzvah, so I don't know what that's like.
I don't do that in Alabama. Okay, so now I want to see what you do.
You want bullshit, pussy.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, Andrew.
Like this guy.
Let's go.
This is too heavy.
Yep.
6. Come on, we got this.
If he can't control it for a
He's
touch
gonna
and go.
stop. He got. Kudos to him. He's going dead stop at the bottom. But there you go. Yeah, he did about 7. You could just tell. Like, that's crushed. Like, and we talk like. I'm also a big proponent of like, we got to go RX once in a while. You got to go. If you never go RX, you never go RX. But at the end of the day, if we're truly preaching the CrossFit methodology, intensity yields results. This guy right
200.
here, like it's not a proven, but at 185 and unbroken, force times distance over time, most likely yields higher intensity and take
get
those
like
fucking gloves off.
365 in the strength piece.
What do you hit?
I think he hit like 365 in the
Cool.
strength piece.
And that's awesome. That's a good
Yeah.
weight. But now my question is, if we would have only been doing strength and he hit 405,
Yeah.
would that have been better off? Did he sandbag a little knowing this is coming? And now, I mean, is he going to blow out his back doing 45, deadlifts at this weight?
Yeah. Probably a little bit too much hyperextension in the back too.
That too, right? Because he's pausing. He's just like
that extra lean back,
This is he's broken it 3 times so far for the record. And again, I don't like to this is not a knock on this guy. Kuda, look. At the end of the day, everyone in this class is the 1% as far as fitness goes.
Yep.
Let's be clear. When Cody and I are hard on the class, you're the 1%. Like 99% of the world can't pick that up once. You're doing it 45 times a day. Shout out to this dude. We're looking at it from the perspective of coaching and maintaining the stimulus.
This is another one of those classes. We've had a couple of other progressions like this too, where they're on the cardio machine, recovering, right? Because after that first round, they got punched in the face. This is a great time to do exactly what you're doing right now. It's where it's like, hey, I was paying attention, right? I'm not going to be able to fix you right here in the moment, but as soon as you go back to this bike, I'm going to come find you. It's like, hey, this is what I meant whenever I said that. You have their attention, right? They're on the bike. They can stare right at you.
Yeah.
And that's something else you can do while they're on the rower. If they're running, you can't do anything about it there, but you find these opportunities, time and a place to go, hey, I'm going to go follow up with that person and then watch them the next time they come back to the barbell. You got to check back in too, even if it's from across the room, right? You're checking back in to see, like, did they pay attention to anything I just said?
Yes, sir.
Also, opportunity to strip weight off the bar.
Yep.
Mike asked 8 to 12. What did you brief the
10
stimulus?
cap.
10? There's a cap?
Yeah, they put a cap.
10-minute cap.
That's why I was like 3 minutes on that bike. You better not be.
What do we have? And here's something to consider. Often when we look at this workout, we often only think about scaling in the load of the deadlift.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I gave them the option too.
Right. For me, the deadlift is very easy. The 30 on the bike, I'm going to be very slow. I don't think I can do the 90 calories on the bike in 10 minutes, let alone that plus 45 deads, right?
Yeah, I think I did during the brief, if you try to keep it under 2 minutes, if they had to go to 24 and 18 to keep the intensity
that also comes down to experience, because you're like, I can do that. Yeah, once.
Yeah.
Right? And now we're going to be back on the bike very quickly after the 15s, right, for the third round. So I do think it should be said like, hey, cool, maybe you want to go 225 on those deads, but maybe we consider 20s on the bike. Maybe we consider 21, 15, 9 on the bike, right? Lots of options there.
Yep.
I just short guys for sure. Like 10 to 12 a minute for me on the bike is effort.
Yes, effort.
Especially the echo bike.
I'm just saying, like, this workout is CompTrain, right? And it's written for the best, but if you don't scale this well, it changes everything. That's right. Short stature division. Honestly, you were on the call with Alec the other day. I'm trying to get in that short stature division. Pull weights off barbells, cut reps. Yeah, you have to. And it's uncomfortable. I know this isn't your box, Matt.
Yep.
But yeah, there's got to be a time. We'll see, right? We're approaching 7 minutes. So I assume most of these people are on their third round of biking. I'm interested
Getting
to
close,
see where that guy that was
I think
struggling.
we had
this
one
guy.
person go over the cap maybe and
It's
finish
probably
in
this guy. He's doing singles now.
Yeah.
At 50, these are the 15s, I believe. Look, and again, please, if this dude happens to be watching, this is not a knock on you. It's just, as coaches, this is our job to scale a little better.
So you think I should have had him go lighter then, right? What do you think, 185?
I don't know that he needs to go. I think there's a big part of it's where, like, dude, you need to suck it up.
Yeah.
This is, like, he's strong. Like, but Pat Sherwood talks about this a lot too. I've heard him say like this, right? What are we missing? We're missing 15 eccentric opportunities to load the posterior chain.
Oh yeah.
Right? And a lot of times we're trying to game workouts cool. It's fun to game workouts. What's more fun is getting strong,
Right.
right? Like,
Plus, I think it's harder doing dead pulls off the floor for 15.
it is hard. I mean,
with your
it's
build up, you get a little bit of that.
yeah, it's harder than bouncing. And for the record, he's moving them at a good pace. It's not like he's walking around, but he's not going to be under your time cap. He's at 8 and change. Look, this is the so Matt, for you, this is the challenge. This is the level 4. You show up 8 to 12 to 15 people you don't know, and I've got a whiteboard brief, a general, specific, and build up to figure you out.
Yep.
And then I have to be so dialed in that when I say 3, 2, 1, go, I've given it. Because the people that I've spoken to that haven't passed the L4, one of their big takeaways was like, I missed the stimulus on like 4 people.
Okay.
And here's the other thing. You got 8 to 12 people that don't trust you yet.
True.
Right? So you have to gain that trust very quickly and be like, you're going 185, you're going 175, you're going 195, you're going 12 calories, you're going, right? So, yeah, Trish, blue shirt did get that stimulus. Sorry about her.
I think you did 155.
I don't want to get banned on YouTube like Savan. He was banned, right? He took off YouTube?
No, I'll be back tomorrow.
Comes back tomorrow. Yeah. You get there's iterations of this. That was strike 1.
Oh, it's only strike 1 for him? That's it?
Yeah, that's surprising. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
We got the time on there, Cody? Can you see it?
It's at 9.
Yeah, 9.5.
9.5. Yeah. I think we are at.
And I was looking at the lesson plan. You're like, I want people to finish between 6 and 8, and it's like I don't think anybody finished.
That's just an error right there.
I mean, it depends, right? Like, what's the stimulus? Is the stimulus to finish between 6 and 8? That means I got to scale this thing.
In the chat, Justin Medeiros does this workout: 30 calories, 21 deads, 225. 30 calories, 15. 30
does
calories,
it in
9.
6.5 minutes.
What's Justin Medeiros' time on this? Blue shirt shaped reps. Is that true? Okay. Sorry, Philip. I see your next comment. Okay, everybody. What's Justin get on that? I would say, okay, games athlete. I could see that. Yeah.
Minute on the bike. There's 3. 3.5 to deadlift.
You think they could do 30 calories in a minute 3 times while deadlifting in between? Now, the deadlift to them is very light.
Yes, right. I don't know. Some of those. Well, I guess Justin Roman probably.
Justin Medeiros that cookies and cream podium is legit. It's good. It's good. I love podium. Not sponsored, but I love them.
You have the coffee ice cream yet?
Mm-hmm. Know what I've realized? Roz and I were talking about it the other day. I realized as a kid, parents buy coffee ice cream simply so you don't eat that ice cream.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And then Roz was like, we had something that was coffee flavored. And I was like, Madison, this is Madison's. Roz like, Madison would never eat that. And I was like, why? She's like, because it tastes like coffee. I'm like, that's why my dad used to eat coffee ice cream. Sub 5. You're telling me, Mike, like, you know Justin? He's like, I'm telling you, you could do it in 5. He's my buddy. All right.
Jody, did you catch how many that went over the cap on that? Was it 3?
I didn't catch there at the end, no.
I think it might have been 3.
I think someone's still going. I think that one dude is still going.
No, he's not.
Did he do his 9 deadlifts, the guy that was right here?
Yeah, he's over here in the corner, the bottom. Yeah, he did.
Did I miss it? Okay.
Yeah. You're talking about coffee ice cream.
Well, I can tell you, if 3 people didn't do it, that would not bode well for your assessment.
No, it sure wouldn't.
And again, I think this is why we're doing this show. Look, you're on the show to prepare for your level 4. This isn't your level 4. You know, we are not critiquing. We are providing feedback. Austin Maliolo said this to me early on my seminar staff. He gave me about 15 minutes of feedback on my coaching. And I looked at him. I was like, dude, did I do anything right? And he was like, you're on seminar staff. You're doing things right, but you need to get better. Right. And it's the same thing with this. Like, you're a level 3 preparing for your level 4 because of all the good shit you did. I'm not here to talk about Matt's awesome shit. I'm here to everyone that's been on this show, I have a vested interest in you passing the level 4, mostly because I'm going to take full ownership of it. I'm going to be like, that's because of me. That was me. No, I want everyone in the world to be a level 4. Like, I don't want everyone. I don't want to become easy, but I want if the more level 4s there are, the better CrossFit is doing. The better CrossFit is doing, the healthier our world is, right?
Better coaching, what is it? High tides raise all ships.
High tide raises, yeah. Hell yeah. I want you to pass that level 4. So that's why we're being like this. If you ever think you're a perfect recorder, yeah, exactly, Trish. Exactly. Trish, you record something from start to finish all the time, I hear. I want to see that video.
Yeah.
All right, I think you've got a cool down in the lesson plan here.
Yep. We're gonna get there. Just trying to get everybody wrapped up. There, the coach I'm talking right there is one of the coaches. He's like, "Yeah, these people not used to cooling down in here." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's why."
That's gotta change. That's an excuse, And for the record, not one person who's been on the progression, Cody, you can vouch for this, has not been an awesome class. A class that I would easily be like, sign me up. I want to go to Matt's class. Like, that was fun.
A lot of people in the chat were saying like, "Hey, I'd love to take a class, coached by Matt," because the energy side of the things, like, it's there for sure. All the things that we're pointing out is just handling the group better and an unknown group at that too. So if this is a group of people who aren't used to doing a cool down, you kind of knew that, like, that's something to mention up front. Hey, we're gonna go through this at the end of the workout. Leave your barbells right where they're at. Don't worry about putting anything up. As soon as we get to the end, we're going to circle up over here and we're going to go through a cool down. Then we'll break all the bars down from there. You just kind of give them the directive up front, and then you can follow through with that at the end, instead of people just scattering around all over the place. Like, this guy's got a mop out right now. Like, he's not only did he clean up his plates and barbell, he's cleaning the whole floor.
Well, and let's also be clear. Most members at your affiliate aren't picking up on whether the coaching is good. They're picking up on how much fun they're having. Did I hit a good workout? Did I feel good when I'm leaving? Did the coach say my name? You're doing all those things. Hey, what gym is this again?
CrossFit St. Pete.
CrossFit St. Pete, Jonathan. Now, Jonathan is Jonathan, because I see Jonathan on Instagram.
It looks like just a couple of stretches for 3 minutes each.
Yeah.
Even this, coach. Do you want him grabbing his ankle? Do you want him grabbing behind the knee? Do you want him grabbing behind the thigh? Right, like, the coaching doesn't stop. Yeah, and Jeff, to be clear, the standard is whatever the standard is that day, right? You go to a competition, you're allowed to drop at the top. You might be at your gym and it's like, hey, today's a 1 rep max, but you have to bring it back to the ground. But yeah, typically you can drop from the top. However, there is a lot to be gained, like you're saying, when you lower the bar back down.
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes for anything, right? Like, it just depends on how that's the beauty of being able to program your own workouts. You can say whatever you want. I've done workouts where it's like you have to do all your dubs unbroken. If you miss, you start over at 0. Or today, like, if you have to do your first 30 calorie bike in 2 minutes or less.
That's a great one.
Like,
Connor Murphy, what's he call that? Oh man, kill shot or something like that, where it's like, it's a buy-in almost. That first 30 calories has to be under 2 minutes, or you have to do an extra 30 at the end.
Ooh.
Right?
Nice.
Like, stuff like that. It was funny because Roz's parents were saying here last Thursday, I did my version of the Cali Bear, and I was like, I told him, like, I'm about to drop weight every 30 seconds. And he's like, can't you bring it back down? And I was like, I could. Right? I was like, valid question. Valid question. And I got those like crash pads too, and I was like, I hate using them because I'm like, now I got to make sure I'm standing over these crash pads. So it's cool. Yeah, time for competing and a time for training. That's a good quote, Mike. I like it. Cool. Well, looks like everybody's. I'm gonna stop the video, Cody.
Yeah.
Let's dig in a little bit. first of all, those in the chat, anything you guys would like to say to Matt? Matt, I think you did a fantastic job. Like we said, I think big picture, as you're preparing for the level 4, things you should be doing at your box is I want to see you take even more control of the class from the times they're moving to calling out everyone watching. Your members want to have fun, but they also don't want to think.
Yeah.
Right. And I can tell you from someone that trains by myself in my basement, the thing that gets overlooked every day is the warm up and cool down. And that's because no one's telling me what to do. But if I show up to class and you're like, all right, guys, we're doing 3 inchworms on me, I'm going to do them with you. Right. So I want everybody to think about that, to think about how can I take more control of this class? How can I coach better? And I think that's an easy place to start. Call out every, then there's a time where it's like, all right, give me 5 on your own or warm up pace, etc. But 80% of the reps should be under pre-workout, should be under the coach's control.
Okay.
On the list to a 10, you're gonna have a drop in from Jonathan over here. Well, that's that's the other box. Yeah,
that's the box I was in. CrossFit Upper, if you want to come to my class.
Cool. What do you got, Cody?
More reps that were under your control. That was the big one for me. Like, we talked about group management in general and just being more directive, but more reps that are led by you. That way you can see more. Even if you don't have an ideal scenario, like with that rig in the middle there, positioning yourself so that you can see the most, right? Whether it's, if I'm on the corner looking at this one person moving dynamically, I can see only one person straight across from that rig, and I can see everybody down the line as well. And so you have an opportunity there, the more reps that you're calling. But you were coaching the hell out of them. You were just having to work a lot. You were bouncing around all over the place, right? Like, connect the dots all over the place. So positioning yourself better, and if you can move the class in a way where you can see more people all at once, then call those reps. It's gonna play in your favor. I was thinking, like, we have 45 reps at 225 in the workout. There's no reason why we shouldn't have done 45 practice reps at varying loads from start to finish at the beginning, from PVC to barbell to lightweight to build up. There should have been probably 45 reps in there as well. And that's 45 reps not moving fast that you're able to provide a coaching cue on.
Okay.
And again, very specific to this workout. You don't know what a level 4 is going to be, but it's the same, the same thing to think about. Like, where am I going to get these reps in? It's like Jay was saying too, this workout works really well being deadlift to deadlift, but what if this was deadlift to snatch? And now you've got to pivot somewhere in there and get all those reps in too.
Now, it was good seeing it in this arena. Again, I didn't watch it prior because I wanted to be here to get you guys' critique on it. Seeing how not taking the lead in certain areas where it became unorganized or it seemed chaotic. And I could see that being something that I could definitely get better at. Yeah.
No, and again, overall, really solid. Call more reps there. Let's see, Mike. I'll stream. I'll do one of my sets on Instagram next week. And Mike, why don't you come on the progression?
Come on, Mike.
You're doing a great job with coaching. Let's get you on.
Let's go, Mike.
I should get an OnlyFans account. Any questions for us, Matt?
No, I appreciate you guys doing this. I appreciate the feedback. I think it's great for the whole community. For all coaches, I think they should do it, whether if they put it on with you guys or film a class. If they don't have somebody to look at it, critique it, give them feedback, watching themselves coach, you can definitely find some improvement there. But no, I respect you guys, and I wanted to get some feedback from you guys on to what I need to get better at. So
that's what we're here for. We want to get, like you said, a high tide rises all ships. That's what we want. This is what it's all about. We genuinely love the comments and the fact that more and more people are watching every week. Tell your friend to come watch. Tell them Trish will be dirty in the comment section if they need that fixed. And you will become a better coach just by watching. Anyone that's watching, Cody, how can they become part of the progression?
I got it. I'm going to drop the link over here.
Cody, drop that link. While Cody's doing that, sad news. There is no progression next Thursday. Is that correct, Cody?
Yeah, not next Thursday. You're gonna be traveling, doing seminar
I'll
stuff.
be local, but it's a level 1. There's a midweek level 1, which probably means it's for like police or something. But
Are you going to be the flow?
I will not be the flow. This guy Pablo will be there.
Gotcha.
Pablo will be the flow. I will be the only level 4 on staff there, but I think we're in Denver. I want to say somewhere in Thornton. So I'll be there, and then I'll be at a prison seminar that weekend. So I got a busy week of level 1s coming up. Nothing some things I'd rather be doing, but I enjoy the level 1s, and we will miss you guys next week. We will have affiliate hot seat on Monday. Fern will be on Wednesday for breaking down the L2 manual with special guest Pat Barber.
Heck yeah.
We'll be right, Seth?
Yeah, we're talking about heavy days.
Nice.
Heavy days, perfect. Prison J. Worst thing about prison Trish is the Dementors. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks. I think, is Ed coming back on? Is this our second guest?
Yeah, and we'll have 2 of them. Not next week, but we have 2 returning guests. We've got Ed and Cerrone,
who just passed her level 3. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Jonathan. And by the way, again, shout out to Nikki Sharp. Really proud of her for passing her level 3. She attributes it to best hour of their day. She attributes it to all the podcasts and all that stuff. That's what it's all about. Great hearing from you guys. Please let us know if we could do anything to make you better coaches or enhance your life. And Matt, great job today.
Thank you. Thanks
Thanks,
for the
Matt.
feedback, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye-bye.